Welcome to 2023. And if there's anything we learned from last year, it is the fact that the economic landscape is quite volatile and things can change quite swiftly than we actually thought they could actually, move. The high interest rates, the rising inflation, and the frequency of these changes actually taught us one thing: to be ready for anything is possible. So in this video, I wanted to share with you 5 tips you can do or things you can do to prepare for 2023. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Diaspora Careers and Investments. If you are seeing this face for the first time, my name is Shadrach, and on this channel I speak all about personal finance, investments, and financial freedom. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips to prepare financially or to set yourself up for the year 2023. Let's dig in. The first thing to do is to draw a budget. And today is 16th January, but it already feels like 32nd January because you may have overspent in December and so you're already feeling the heat. But don't worry, it is still a good time to draw a budget. And I know it may seem cliche, and you may have heard from so many people that draw a budget, and sometimes you've even attempted to draw a budget, but you do not follow. But don't despair. I'll put a link in the description box below to a link to a budget planner which I've specially developed, and I'll explain it in another video. But definitely download it to help you to draw a budget. In my next video, I'm going to explain how the budget planner actually works and how you can actually use it. It's really good and it's something I personally use. But because it's self-explanatory, I'll just put a link to it in the description box below. Definitely download it and then you can understand it yourself. But a budget is important because it allows you to see your incomings and your outgoings. And I do not say this as an academic exercise. I really use it on my own. You don't have to necessarily follow it throughout the year, or it can even be difficult to, do this administration yourself. But once you sit down, we are in January. Once you sit down now, you know how much you are earning in January or how much, your income or your household income is. Then, what are your outgoings? How much do you spend on food, on fuel, on transport, on your mortgage or your house, on miscellaneous, on your childcare? How much do you really spend? And that will help you to know how much you'll be left with at the end of the month. And at least try to follow it. Of course, budgeting can become difficult because sometimes you realize that you're not following it and so you despair and you give up on the whole idea of it. But that is fine. You can readjust it to be realistic and truthful to yourself. How much are you actually saving at the end of the month? Then that would help you to know, what can I really cut out? So it starts with, actually having a financial goal for the year. Maybe you want to save £1,000 or $1,000 or 1,000 cedis or 1,000 naira every month till the end of the year, because you are planning that at the end of the year you'd have maybe 12,000, or it could even be 500, it could even be 200. But I really hope that you set for yourself a bit of a challenge, and that will help you to know what to cut down on. It could mean reducing your, takeaway, purchases. It could mean canceling the several subscriptions you have. Where can you actually reduce cost? Because, as much as I don't want to say it, times are tricky in these times, and you don't want to, have excess, outgoings. You want to have enough savings for rainy days because things can change at any time. But also, we know of the opportunities that the year will present. House prices are already down. You want to be ready. Once you see something, you want to go for it. You want to maximize your savings as much as is possible. And a budget planner would certainly help you. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, I would definitely encourage you to consider subscribing. One, to push up these videos, but also so that once I do that explanation of the budget planner, which is in the description box below, you would be first notified. The second thing you want to do is to have a high interest savings account. And here there are 2 types of accounts I would want you to open. The first is a regular savings account, and the second one is a normal savings account with a high interest rate. Now, let me explain. A regular savings account usually comes with a very high interest rate, but they peak or they give you a maximum amount you can save per month. So currently, First Direct is giving you 7%. And that is huge, 7% on their regular savings account. But the maximum you can save in a month is £300. But still, that is fine. Instead of saying £300 in your account that is paying 1%, just open a First Direct bank account and they'll pay you 7% on that. The catch is that if you miss payments in a particular month, you cannot say the following month you're going to double it. No, it doesn't work that way. So that can actually even be a form of discipline, that every month you ensure that you save the £300. And by the end of the year, you have what? £3,600 saved. Apply 7% on that, of course, given that it's every month. That goes about 4,000 something pounds in the year. And that is good because you don't get that 7% on any account elsewhere. So that is definitely one account I would open. If you know of any other, high-paying regular savers accounts, let me know in the comment section. And then in addition to a regular savers account, I would open a normal savings account that has a high interest rate. At the moment, Zopa is paying about 3.75%, Chase is paying 2.7%, and HSBC is actually paying 3%. So check your savings account. How much are you getting on there? Are you getting, 1% or under 2%? Definitely move to a bank that will pay at least 3%, and you can use that. So let's assume at the end of the month, you want to save, £1,000. You would want to save 300 of that in your First Direct account that is paying 7%, and the remainder you move it whether into HSBC or Zopa or something that is paying at least 3%. In fact, if you're a Barclays Bank owner or you have a Barclays Bank account holder, then you even want to open their rainy day account, where you get about 5%. NatWest is giving 4.5%. In fact, I have a video that explains all these high interest paying savings accounts. I'll put a link to it in the description box below. You should definitely check it out and open those accounts, but definitely open at least two of these. A high paying interest account and a regular saver account, so that you save your monies there, because you want to hold your cash to be ready for a good opportunity. The third point to set up yourself financially this year is to open a stocks and shares ISA account. And if this is something you're already doing, then I would strongly encourage you to even continue doing it. But if you've never considered the stocks and shares market, then I would, I would really encourage you to just pay some attention to it. I've already got quite a few videos that explains, stocks and shares, how to start investing in the stocks and shares market. I'll put a link to those in the description box below, as well as even up here. Do check those out. But if you've never, actually paid attention to stocks and shares, it's something to consider this year, because stocks and shares are already coming down, which means it's a good time for you to buy them low, hold them, and then sell them when stock prices rise. We know that there are peaks and troughs, but they would always rise in the long term. So you want to buy some stocks now and hold it in the long term. And back to the first point, it is when you are able to budget that you are able to know how much of my money do I want to hold in cash and how much of my money do I want to put in the stocks and shares market. My general advice is that put only money you don't mind losing. But of course, that doesn't mean £3 or £2. You want to put maybe some 20, 100, maybe something, knowing that in the long term, it will also pay some returns. So I guess instead of saying money you don't mind losing, actually money you don't need in the next 3 to 5 years. So that should help you to know where to put your money. Like I said, I would, do a whole video about how to use the budget planner and then even explain to you how I apply it. So once again, if you've not subscribed to this channel, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to it, because there are good stuff coming in this year and you don't want to miss out once they are uploaded. The fourth point is to have a private pension. Consider opening a private pension for the long term. And I know there are many people who are already bugging me about, private pensions video. The video has been recorded. I'm still editing it because I don't want it to be too long. So once I upload it, you'll get notified. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, this is a great opportunity for you to subscribe so that you get notified once that video is out. But generally, is to have a savings account or a pension account for the long term. So that leads to my final and fifth point, which is to have multiple streams of income this year. No matter how much you cut down your expenses and all of that, you can't increase your savings if your income is not as much. Of course, there are two streams, income and outgoings. So if the income is more and the outgoings is less, then you can keep a lot, and that much you keep, you can save, you can invest, you can do all sorts of things. So definitely consider having a side hustle. It could mean taking on, an extra shift, a bank shift if you're a nurse. If you're a teacher or a lecturer, consider, extra teaching hours or extra marking, or even consider, starting a business or doing something if your visa allows you, of course. Consider a side hustle which can, develop into something for the long term. But even more importantly, consider making it more sustainable so that instead of, taking on shifts, whether capriciously or, just deciding as and when you want to do it, you can actually make it more regular, knowing that every Saturday I do a bank shift or every Friday night I work into the Saturday. Make it regular so that it can be part of your, your income, and you can actually plan with it. So these are the 5 things I'll be doing this year, which I've started some of them, and some of them are still, yet to be done. I hope you found them useful. And if there's anything which is unclear, do let me know in the comments section, and that would also help push this video quite further. Thanks for staying with me, and God bless.